Big up Mr. IC3. My good friend Mr. IC3.
So you're back, you've been on holiday.
I'm around, yeah. No, it was a bit boring in the park, so I thought just do my own thing. But how are you?
It was a bit boring.
Yeah, it was. Well, when I came anyway, I came for about a month, helped to try and build it up, do a live stream, do a few clips, and then a lot more people started coming back, which was good after watching my thing. But
so you let build up.
yeah, it kind of felt like starting from the beginning a little bit.
I know.
How are you anyway?
COVID. Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
You never know.
Setting up.
That's right. So a few improvements, you know, here and there.
Yeah.
Little subtle things.
So it's.
But my battery blew out on me this morning, so and then it didn't come.
Okay.
I was just about packing away.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were.
Yeah, packing up to say, oh, forget it, I can't come today. And then I thought, oh, maybe if I change the cable, because the battery, this new battery burnt the cable. So I thought, let me change the cable. Like I had a spare one. I change this cable and whoosh. So that's why I'm here.
So Mr. IC3, black banking.
Okay.
Yes. Give me the rundown.
Wow, that's even deeper than this.
Yeah, I know.
That's the next level of this. You've got to understand this before you get into the black banking.
Yeah.
And then the reparations as well.
What's the like a rough outline of all of that?
Well, I think, as you know, I've always my opposition are the globalist bankers. So I believe in the preservation of nation, race, community, culture, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
And I perceive the opposition as those that are trying to destroy all borders and try and turn the whole world into a high street, basically. So that's the battle. So, as national racialism, the principle is that nation conserves race, race conserves nation, and that principle means that every nation will be able to regulate life within that nation, which means that includes banking. See, that's where the banking comes in, because the banking is so powerful. Everything's about money, isn't it?
It's the system's capitalism, though, isn't it? And who runs that?
Yeah, not quite. Not quite. Capital is capital. Everybody uses capital. Oh, you got 10 pence. Can I do something with 10 pence? And you got 10,000. I got gold. You know, capital is just like a bike or a table. It's a capitalism. Capitalism. What mean ism? Ism of what? Isms of tables. I got lots of tables.
Isms and schisms.
Right. So that's capital. Capital can do something with it. So okay, but it's what you do with the capital. What is the ideology of the person or the intention of the person or people? What they intend to do with the capital?
Wealth generation.
Okay, wealth generation. Okay, so good. Wealth generation. Now, wealth obviously would include values, cultural values, health, you know, benefits and so on. It's a wider issue. So, what may appear to be wealth to one culture might not be perceived as wealth to another culture. What one culture values, another culture might not value. Yes, they might say this music is terrible. We love the music over here. Yeah. This food is terrible, but we love the food over here. The way you organise your houses and your streets, we don't like it like that. You don't like those colours, or your music, your clothes, because we have our own. Yeah. Yes. So therefore, wealth is still a matter of perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So therefore, if you're generating wealth, then the wealth has to be focused and developed around your culture, your cultural values, what you perceive to be wealth, how you'd like your house or your home to be organised. Yes? Yeah. So you can start to see, as you start bringing culture and ethnicity and nation and race, that the idea of wealth is not quite so simple, is it? Yeah, it's not about accumulating money. What are you going to spend the money on?
Yeah.
Yeah? So that makes people think, because usually people think of wealth, well, no, the most amount of money, that's it. But if you're just thinking in terms of numbers, you're not really actually thinking about, well, what is wealth? What is life? What is the quality of life? How does the quality of life relate to my identity? Does identity add some shade to what values you have, and therefore how you see wealth? See? But if you just think of wealth as in just as banks, you just go to the banks and you're saving your money in a particular bank. You see, that's kind of a mono. You see, the banks all seem to have this one look. They have a different logo, yes? Nice thick walls, safe, isn't it? Safe. Nice big doors, thick cameras all over the place. And people then assume that the people running the bank are like the bank itself, or like the money itself. But they're people, but those people running that bank might not share the same values, cultural values, as you do. Yeah? Or as your people do. So therefore, if you can't look after if a nation or a people or a culture cannot look after its own wealth and manage its own money, then it will be dictated to by this other banking entity. Because they can't, if you can't run your own banks, that means it's like your own pockets are no good. So therefore, I'm going to put my money in your pockets. But I don't even know who you are. I don't even know what your name is. I don't know what values you hold. I don't know what your culture is. Yeah. So if you put in your money or in your wealth to be in so-called safe hands of this unknown entity, then when your culture and your life and your nation and your people start getting messed up, you won't be able to work out where the trouble's coming from.
I hear you.
They're throwing lots of...
No, it makes sense.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So originally, fundamentally, a bank would be a product of the community, of the people. They pull together, yeah? And then they produce, and the people that are running the bank would be the same as the people, correct?
Yeah.
And they would share the same values as the people, they share the same religion as the people, yes? So the interest of the bank would be in the interest of the people, yes, and the interest, the investments the bank would make will be in line with the nation, the people, the culture, correct?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they're fooled into thinking, okay, I'm clever, I'm going to put my money over there, and they'll say, oh, right, if you put it in this account, no interest, what's that word? Put it in this account, we'll give you 5% interest. And you put it in this savings deposit or whatever account, 10% interest. And at the end of the year, we'll give you extra 10% on your money. And you think, yeah, that sounds good. And you put your money there and you work hard, and you're busy working hard all year. And you look at your deposit account and you say, extra 10%. I'm doing well. My money's going up. But if you're being given 10%, how did those people who you don't know in that bank, who don't know what their culture is, what their belief is, how do they make that 10%? And if they've got 10% to give you, how much are they making for themselves? You don't know. But you think, look at your 10%, you think, oh, yeah? And worse than that, if that bank is making more than the 10% you don't know who they are, you don't know what their values are, you don't know what their culture is, right? You might be saving up for your children, or for your generation, for your family, for the next 20, 30, 50 years, correct? And you have plans. That's why you're working hard, you're saving, so you've got plans. But how do you know that the plans of the bankers are in harmony with yours? They might be deciding to get rid of you, kick you all out of the country. And you're all saving up and you get your 10%, you think you're doing well, but you don't know what they're planning. They haven't told you. They haven't told you what the plan is. You don't know what their culture is and what their values are. So you're just assuming that the bank has no values. It's just a machine.
Boom.
So I'm just shooting from hip there.
Boom. Mr. IC3.
Yeah, so that's a touch on the banking, yeah?
Boom. Nice one. Thanks.